When you believe in something your whole life and you find out it's wrong, the guilt is overwhelming. You feel dirty and unworthy and just a mess. I was an atheist my whole life. From when I was about 6, my mother tried to take me to Sunday school, and they asked them not to bring me back because I asked too many questions and I interrupted too much. So that's where my distaste for church came about. I never felt a connection to any religion, and even in school we studied a few different kinds and I could never connect to any of them. Buddhism was interesting to me, but still I never connected to anything. And my parents were not religious. My dad was raised Catholic but didn't believe. My mother was raised Baptist, but she never went to church, even though she'll tell you she's Baptist. And so pretty much they just kind of left me to decide what I wanted to believe on my own, and I kind of decided I didn't want to believe in anything. I didn't believe in God. I didn't believe in heaven, hell, demons, devil, nothing. It was not real. I believed in science. If I could touch it, it was real. I read a book which I thought was by a psychologist, atheist. He was studying possessions and the psychological explanation of why people believe they're possessed by demons. So I thought this was great. I was into ghost hunters and paranormal stuff, so I thought it'd be a book for me. Turns out this book was a little different. It was about him really seeing the devil. The book is called Glimpses of the Devil by Scott Peck. And it kind of started maybe cracking that wall I had up my whole life. There was times when I would maybe question a little bit, well, if there's demons and ghosts and evil spirits in the world, then there's probably God. Still though, the idea of it was like, it's not real, it doesn't exist. And being an atheist is pretty much not believing in anything. There's no afterlife, there's no heaven, there's no God, there's no hell, there's no anything. And it's very empty to be an atheist. And then I had a vision. I know it wasn't a dream because a dream is something you know is a dream, whereas this was more like a memory of something that really happened. And I woke up and I knew I was wrong. I was crying hysterically. Because to believe something your whole life and it to be so wrong is hard. I called Paul in the morning, screaming and telling him I told him the only way I would ever believe is if I talked to him, if he showed up in front of me and said, here I am, and that's pretty much what he did. The guilt was overwhelming. It was like this huge weight crushing me. So many times I'd argue with people about their faith and mocked them. So I called Paul, I told him, we need to go to church right away. I was wrong, I admit it, I was sorry. I need to know what to do. And we started attending church together. He bought me my first Bible, which was very intimidating for someone that's never touched it before. A few months later, I was baptized with Paul on one side and the pastor on the other side. So I've been Christian ever since, and I'm still struggling to find what that means, what a Christian does and who that is, because I've been so the opposite my entire life. So it's been a learning process ever since. And the church we were at had a lot of people that have been Christian their whole life, so I couldn't really relate to any of them. I felt uncomfortable talking to them because I felt guilty still, and dirty. I felt like I'd been so bad my entire life. I don't deserve to even be here. When we finally moved here to Tennessee and we started coming to Wattsbar Church, I knew this was the place. I heard the music, I was excited, everyone was welcoming. I finally found people I'm comfortable around that don't care that I was an atheist my entire life. They don't care that I criticized and mocked and persecuted anyone who was Christian for their beliefs. I was so happy that I found people who didn't judge like I used to judge. It's a real family feeling here that I've never had, and I'm just happy to be here. My name is Candace Wallace, and this is my story.